my story is pretty much the story of a backslider. You know, people always say, man, they know God and God know your heart. Because you would think that you always find a way to, to justify what you're doing in life. Because Christians, in this day and age, they still do it, But things I was doing, man, it just wasn't right. My mother did everything she could for me. And I ain't start to really rebel till around about 11, 13. I always went to church. I had to go to church, So we was raised in the church. But around like 11 or 12, it was mostly due to peer pressure. Cause you would always want to fit in with your peers, and everybody who I was raised around, they was doing the wrong thing. So we just do the wrong thing, skip school, sip MD 2020, Thunderbird. It was about 11, 12, We just started rebelling, just as coming up. My mother did most of the raising. My father was he was a alcoholic, as you put it, And she passed around the age of I was 14 years old. She died on her birthday, and that's when it really started. I was living home to home. I started living in Louisiana. I was moved to Louisiana for about 6 months. I had a fetish with gambling, so I used to always shoot dice to, make a living, just try to gain. So that was one of my first loves. As far as when I started getting money, I was shooting dice. I stayed shooting dice. So I had came back to Houston, and I was living from home to home. I had came back to stay with my brother. My brother, he really didn't too much want to deal with me, so I was staying with my second cousins. I consider my aunt because she raised me. And coming up, I used to see my cousins. They used to, they was on the wrong side of the road, so they used to have a lot of money at the time. So I was always attracted to some money and trying to become a success in that way. That's why I thought it was success, having money. So at the time I was about 14 years old, and one of my cousins, he had a trap house in City Gas, and it was jumping, man. And I was drew to that lifestyle because I used to always make money, man. I used to stay with my auntie, she loved me, but I used to always go to my cousin's house, and I used to just see the lifestyle. I was hanging out late at night, my aunties and them, they was raised in the church too, but they wouldn't have it. They were like, man, either you're gonna stay in or you're gonna stay out, So I'd rather stay out anyway, So I chose to rebel, and I started staying with my cousin. And from then on, it was a lifestyle that really just I took to, I was just started out as selling dope, and I was just smoke. I started out, I developed a habit. I used to smoke marijuana, and it's absurd. So that's how it all started off. I was just selling drugs, man. And used to bring in a bunch of money. We used to sell PCP, weed, crack, about this house, and it took care of us for years, for most of my high school years. One of the drugs I was selling was PCP, man. And I said, now all the while I said, man, I never do this drug, man. One of my cousins used to do it a lot. I said, man, how y'all do that stuff, man? I said, man, I ain't understood why they would do it, but I said to myself I would never do it, but I had tried it. Became a little habit. It was something I indulged, and I ain't indulging as much at first. And then, me and my cousin had fell out, so I was no longer in the house. So the money that I was making, it wasn't the same. So I was just pretty much just getting by off the drugs I was selling. I was pretty much just selling crack at the time. And then but I still had that habit of PCP, you know. And then, how can I say it? That's when life took a little turn for me. I had to run in with a lot of jump out boys had jumped out on us. I had caught another case. I went to jail. I got out on probation. I had 3 years deferred adjudication. So this is when I started having to run in with prison with sentences as far as being incarcerated. So I was on papers for a felony possession of a controlled substance. I was going to court when I was down in the county. I signed for some time. I went to state jail for 6 months. I said I ain't like the way things was going. I said, man, when I get out, man, I never do this again. But just so happened when I was released, with nothing going for me, I started doing the same things again. I ain't stay out no more than 3 months this time, and I got jammed up with some dope. I had signed for some time of 4 years. I went to the penitentiary. I done 2.5 years on this sentence. And must I say to you that being locked up in prison is not the way to go, because it's like the lowest state, you know. You don't want to be there, man. It's not the place to be. I wouldn't advise you to go there. I done 2.5 years. So when I released though, came back to the world, but this time, I got 2 exes on my back, so it's kind of hard to find jobs at this time, so I went back to the thing that I know, but in the end, a lot of bad things happened, man. I started getting robbed, got shot up, literally like left for dead, man. And my father had came into the room. He found me, man, and he told me when my father told me, I don't really pretty much remember too much that happened that night, because it was I really can't too much remember, man. But I know I was doing wrong, because like I said, I was still selling drugs. My father told me, say when he found me, say my hands were ice cold, man. And he called the ambulance. And the ambulance told my father, he said when he was gone, he said if he would have waited 5 minutes later, he said I could have been dead. By this time, when I was in hospital, man, I had a bullet lodged in my chest. I was shot in my back. When I was in hospital, man, I had tubes in me. I was in intensive care for like 3 days. I was in hospital for like 3 weeks. Like right now, I probably got I had like half a lung, cause I was shot, man. I take it as a sign, man. Because of the things I was doing in life. If I would keep on that path, man, literally, I think I would have died. And around the time when I came back, I started learning. I started reading more with the people in the walk of life, and they used to always have Bible study and things. So I started going back to Bible study again. I was like, we did a lot of reading.
Hey, just think, these folks see us all day coming together. They know we the church. They know we coming together getting the word. And then when we leave and we disassemble and we go back and kick it with them, no respect.
Ain't no
we like these cats fugazi. They're fugazi. Look at him, bro. Then you just go with them folks early, and then they laugh at us. Sometimes they laugh at us. I done seen cats be like, you know what I'm saying? Can't wait till y'all leave. I got a client in him. You know what I'm saying? They laugh at us. Then they don't even respect your gangster no more, because they like, how dare you just come up out the church, you sit here cussing and fussing with me.
Yeah.
Fugazi. Nobody respects that.
You stay the gospel with me, or you stay doing this with me.
It's Fugazi.
You fooling yourself.
And them are the fish we supposed to be winning.
This is my testimony now. What I'm telling you, I'm gonna be on my grind. If I'm gonna be on the word, I'm gonna be on my grind trying to get this word in my life.
Yeah.
And live out this life. So if I'm walking this life, I gotta walk this life. I gotta walk this walk. Yeah. If I ain't walking this walk, I'm doing everything in vain.
Yeah.
I'm doing everything in vain.
Yeah.
If a person can't see me walking, and see me walking like Jesus walking like, that's why it comes down to, if you ain't walking like Jesus, you walking like the world. And that's what the people.
This time, you know, it just took a different toll on me, you know. Started wisening up because a lot of bad things was happening to me, you know. Like I can say I was battling more. I can honestly feel like I was battling with demons, man, because I could tell my life wasn't right, because I would constantly feel at sometimes things I was doing, I was still selling and getting high, man. And when I would get high sometimes, man, I could feel like it'll just be a constant vision of death, man. You know, by me reading the word and you know, and just coming to a revelation. I got high one time, man. And I just felt like I was the devil, man. You know what I'm saying? I can honestly say that, man, because by me having that knowledge of the word in me, I got high one time and I was like, man, I had got convicted. You know, I was like, man, you're right now you're a devil. You know what I'm saying? Because I started feeling like the devil. You know what I'm saying? Because of the things I was doing. You know, I was still selling dope and still getting high. You know, by you reading the word in the gospel, you'll come to knowledge that, you know, if you not doing these things, that you are not in the walk of Christ. Cause I was going to church every day, reading, but I was still doing wrong, man. I just felt it in my body, man. That, like, man, you were literally the devil, man. You were the devil right now at this point in state, because of the things I was doing. I was still selling dope. You know, when you selling dope, man, I honestly believe that you're killing God's people, man. That ain't the right way, the right walk. And that's one thing that made me want to change. You know, right now I'm just still. It's just a constant fighting battle, man. But I'm drawing near, you know what I'm saying, to the Lord, man. If you read the gospel, follow the gospel thoroughly, and you read it, you'll know the things that you're not supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be defiling your temple and everything, you know. So you know the things that defile your temple. And if you read the gospel, you know, according to the gospel. Say it one more time. If you're not Christ-like, you're not a saint. You know what I'm saying? And that's the path that I'm looking forward to. And that's what I'm trying to do in life. That's the walk I'm trying to do in life. That's the ultimate success I believe that's in life. And modern day Christianity, you know, when I say, I think that you still worldly and you're still on the pathway to hell. Because that's just how it's written in Scripture. You know? That's pretty much my testimony. You know, I just know that, you know, the old way that I was walking in, man, it wasn't right. You know.
Yeah, man. He say, "Come as you are, man. Not just as you dress. Come as you are. You might got some cognac in your system or a little marijuana in your system. Man, come as you are, man. It don't matter. Come as you are. Come as you are, man. It don't matter. Don't be ashamed, man. You must come, man. Your soul and your life is dependent on it, man."
Repent. For the kingdom is at hand. Follow Jesus Christ, he'll make you a fisherman of men.